Hey, what's up, fellas? This video is for Clyde, one of my eBay customers who has a special request. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a tree stump burner that's got a lot of uses around the yard. You can burn piles of wet leaves and wet brush. Completely green brush can be burnt with this thing. You can use waste oil, propane, diesel, anything. Diesel is very cheap to use running this thing, by the way. You're looking at about $6 to do some serious yard cleanup, burn huge stumps out of the ground, all that. Clyde has asked that I build him an extendable control system so that he isn't too close to the brush fire he's going to have going. So, photograph that Clyde sent me. I get a lot of really cool stuff like this from people, like every day. I love my job to be a part of your guys' projects like this and to be able to provide input and solutions and now even products. So, Clyde, we got you covered, brother. You're gonna be able to incinerate anything. I'm including these valves for him that he will be able to stand off from the system so he can adjust the power from a distance. You will also still be getting the valves that are connected to the burner because you're gonna want those right there during ignition. It's very convenient to have the valves right there by you when you're lighting this thing up. And essentially, the construction of this thing is very simple. This is the foot peg that you use to stomp the spike into the ground there. That's basically all it takes. I am gonna send an extra one of these and an extra rod that you can add to the spike in the event that the ground is really soft and you need a little bit more of an anchorage. The top is just a T-fitting that you'll tighten very tightly and will simply hold in position by the friction of the bolt itself. It works out great. And we also have a retaining screw that you're going to want to add so that your nozzle position doesn't change, because all of this will come disassembled, obviously, to reduce shipping cost. But for the most part, there you go, brother. That's your little extra. Usually this comes with the 8-inch pin stocks, this style right here, but I've added the 10 inchers for you. And these standoff valves here, this would be your air and your fuel that you can connect with some hoses at a distance if you need to. Additionally, because Clyde has some special applications that go outside the realm of this product's purpose, I've added him a center spike where you can simply stab the torch into the ground right next to the burning barrel that you were going to use to incinerate things with. So you would basically just grab it, walk up, stab it down into the ground right next to your barrel so you can aim it directly into the intake port that you've talked about. So I added that feature for you. I'm kind of glad you brought this up because I've never put one of these together this way before, and it's a fantastic configuration. It's far better than what I was doing. I was just taking one of these and welding it directly to the rod, and then the customer was stuck with that rigid configuration. But this here is awesome. You could even use this to, for tree stump burning as well. Just stab this little guy right into the ground like that. So, man, right on, Clyde. You're the man, brother. Okay, Clyde, it really is as simple as this. We're just gonna stab this thing into the ground. We're gonna start off with really low air, and we're gonna prime the line. We're gonna sit here and wait for a second, and you'll see how the fuel is slowly coming up the line there. It's very cold outside, so I'm kind of giving you the extreme weather lighting procedure. See how slow that oil's moving? It's extremely cold, thick oil. So once it gets to the nozzle there, we're going to start with low air and probably 50% throttle on fuel there. Or actually, that's on full throttle on the fuel. And when it's really warm outside, you won't need to do this. And this is really dirty waste oil, but I want to show you what happens when you set the oil on the ground when it's really cold outside. So keep this in mind if you have trouble down the road